Hey, Tanner James, DJ, TJ, I have something for you today. This is about speaker wattage and SPL. Speaker wattage does not matter. I know it's weird, right? We're so trained to think that speaker wattage is what matters in a PA system for DJs or even bands or anybody who's going to be using a PA system. We want to think that that the wattage is important. Really, it doesn't matter. And the reason is because wattage can be like hyped up. Like they can say, it can really be 100 watts, but they can say it's 300 because you can do this to it and you can do that. That it doesn't matter, right? And it's kind of weird because these manufacturers will change it and do what they can and kind of so there's a couple pieces to a powered speaker, right? There is the speaker itself and there is the amp. Now the amp, you can put a 1,000-watt amp and a 100-watt speaker. The max that speaker can take is 100 watts. So that's something that you can do. Likewise, you can switch it around and say that it's a 1,000-watt speaker with a 100-watt amp, and it's like, well, you're not getting that sound output. That doesn't tend to happen, but that's what can happen. So that's how things can be hyped up. And the other piece of the puzzle is quality, right? And I went into this in another video, but you may not want super loud speakers, right? You may think that that's what you need, but sometimes it's not. And so, I've seen speakers that are, 2,000 watts, and it's like it sounds like a 200-watt speaker. That's why. And so really what you need to be focusing on is SPL. SPL is the sound pressure level. It is how loud the speaker is, how loud the speaker output is. And that's really what matters. Because if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for loud speakers, if you want a better sound quality, you want to have the lower basses and you want to get low in bass, that's another thing. You just may want it to sound pleasing to your ear, right? You can have a loudspeaker that sounds horrible. You can have a speaker that hits all the ranges and it goes down to 25 hertz or whatever, but it doesn't sound very good because the quality isn't there. It can just go down that low. So that's why Bose speakers sound so good. They're loud, not necessarily loud. They sound great, and they get down to the low ranges, but there's quality all between and all of the hertz. So you need to find out what you want and what the application is for you. Sometimes, just like the last video, you may want a louder speaker, and sometimes you may want a better quality speaker, right? At a wedding, you're going to want a better quality speaker. At a school dance, you may want it to be louder, right, for the kids. And so you need to figure that out. If you're going for the loudness, right, and you're trying to go loud, the main thing that you're going to be looking at is SPL. But with SPL can also be exaggerated. It can really be 128, and they're hyping it up as 135. I've actually had that before with a speaker. I took a speaker that was 125 decibels, and I took one that they said was 132, and the 125 was louder. Now, that's weird, right? How do they do that? Well, this is one thing that speaker manufacturers do. They will say, hey, calculated with this amp, with this speaker, in this box, with all of this stuff going on, this speaker can get up to 135 decibels. In reality, it only gets up to 124. Now, calculated, hypothetically, it can get up to 135, but really it doesn't. So that's kind of the same thing, right? So if you're gonna go off of SPL, which I recommend, look for the actual or the tested speaker SPL, because that means they actually got it. They actually got a speaker. They actually played a sound through it and get it. You can't compare apples to oranges, right? That's not right. That's not what you should be doing. You should be looking at actual for every single speaker that you're looking at. Now, if you are looking for a better quality speaker, that's another video, and I'll put that into another video of what to look for. But for this one, for the loudness, for how loud the speaker can get, look at SPL, look at the actual tested SPL, not just the calculated, and then I'll give you some ranges. So maybe for when you're starting out, right, you're trying to get into this, but you don't want to spend a ton of money. A good speaker, I would get 2 speakers, and I would get some around 120 decibels. That's what I started off with when I started. But you will want to move up past there. That's a very good starting point. Now you can probably find a better speaker for a better a better price, but somewhere in that zone. As you move up, you're going to get louder speakers, and depending on what you're doing, you may go really big, right? If you're doing school dances, you're going to be up there around 140, 135, 138, up in that zone for speakers. Subwoofers, it's another story, but for the speakers, the top caps, that's what I recommend. Starting out, once you move forward, once you move up, that will change. But if you're looking to start out or you're looking to upgrade, start out around 120, 125, then move up to 130, and then you can go from there. One quick tip on speakers that I recommend: I love QSC. I love QSC K8s, K10s, K12s. Those are awesome. With that, I know that EV speakers are awesome. I know a lot of people love them. I've heard them. I've never used them before. But I mean, my recommendation is QSC. The K series, it's awesome. They are pretty good in their price. They sound great. They're just number one. And so if you're gonna you want to get some nicer speakers, you want to upgrade, you want to grow your business, that's what I recommend. My name's Tanner James, DJ TJ. Thank you for checking out the video.